Take me back to just before we worked together. What were your top three challenges?
My top three challenges were, I would say probably a cohesive resume, like how I would present myself in a flowy situation. It was just like I felt like my resume was very piecemeal, and that it probably hindered me getting interviews. Some of it was confidence, I think, as well. So that would probably be number two. And then number three, I think a lot of it was it's kind of a niche market that I'm in. That probably is still a challenge, but it is what it is.
Okay. What was that like?
It's a little frustrating.
Mhm.
It's hard when and I wasn't even looking for that long, but it's hard when you know that you want something else. It's just not coming as fast as you want it.
Yeah. And you're someone who likes things like
Yes,
you're
like keep
ready,
moving,
right?
keep
Yeah,
moving.
totally, totally. What was that costing you in your life?
Um, in my old job, it was costing me a lot. Like it was just, sticking in that rut. My family suffered a lot just because I was working a lot of hours that I probably didn't need to work because the firm just didn't believe in staff. So I missed school plays. It was Christmas and I didn't take any time off for Christmas because we had so many deadlines. So it was one of those things where it was like, I was done. I was going to leave whether I had a job or not. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did I help you overcome those challenges?
So, I think with you, a lot of it was, reforming, reframing my resume and helping me understand what I should emphasize, which kind of carried over into I feel like you reinforced my confidence, helped me build my confidence just by talking to you. Like it was just, I felt a lot more confident. Like, yeah, I was worth what I thought I was worth. I think a lot of times women, especially in leadership roles, just because we have been kind of challenged a little bit more, we feel like we're not worth what we are. But you kind of coached me through that just by talking. Like it wasn't even, it was just by us interacting, I felt more confident.
I love that for you. I'm so happy you got that.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was a great experience. I absolutely loved it.
Good, good. I'm so glad. So, after working with me, what feels possible for you now?
So I feel like I'm not going to settle. I feel like, you showed me that I should get, and so that's what kind of feels positive. I feel like I'm just going to continue to move forward.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what outcomes did you get?
So some very odd outcomes. So I was hired at DLA. I gave them, I told them my start date was going to be March 10th. They said that usually it was 10 to 14 business days before the reference checks and everything came through, like all the background check and everything. So I submitted to them on Sunday afternoon, got out everything in line. And by Wednesday morning, I got a call that everything had cleared. The lady from HR had told me it's never happened before. It never happens within the first week. She's like, this was and she said, everything that you said on your resume aligned with what people said about you, with like all the dates of all your jobs. She's just like, everything was fine. We didn't have to do anything else. She goes,
Nice.
usually, especially in the positions that you're applying for, you actually have to go back at least once and correct something and she goes, nothing. It all came back. I was like, awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Love
Yep.
that.
Yeah. And so that was the first outcome. And then so I was supposed to start on the 10th of March, and I actually ended up starting on the 24th of February. So 2 weeks early, almost 3 weeks early because of everything. But what was interesting was right before I took the job at DLA, another job like that was more aligned with my skill set opened up. And so I applied for that. And now I'm in like the final rounds of that too. So now I have to make a decision. But wait, there's one more. So and that's a practice management role. But there was another firm that I had applied for right when I applied for the same job at DLA. It was like a revenue driven role. And I didn't realize it was kind of a role that had been out there for a while, and they were just in the final stages. So they had already, so they reached out right away and said, "Oh no, we just filled this position, blah blah blah. We'll keep you on file." Well, they emailed me this morning, and they have a director role, not the one that I applied for, but another one. They're like, "We want to interview you for that." So I felt that was really great. So they all
My gosh.
So, but
So-
next week.
Next week?
No, I don't have a date yet. I said, I told them today, I said, yeah, I'd like to hear more about it at least. But yeah, so that puts me in like an odd position because now every role that I've applied for with that resume, I mean, I've only applied for 3. Well, I didn't get the one, but another job with that firm. But so all 3 firms have come to me, where before I would say I was probably getting like a 10 to 20% response rate. And now I'm at 100%.
Oh my gosh. So all we did together was a resume. You got a job. You got it faster than anticipated. You have another job in the hopper. Another one called you today.
Yes. And like I
So
said,
happy for you.
And I will say I did not actively apply for the other one I applied for as I was going through DLA, but the other one I applied at the same time as DLA. So it's not like I'm continuously applying. It was just stuff that was out there. But, all 3 that I applied for with the resume we worked on have gotten me to the place I needed to go. So I'm excited.
I love that for you. That's fabulous.
Yep.
Was it worth the investment?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be very honest. I thought it was a bad investment. Like, and not to say that when I was working with you it was bad, but prior to me hiring you, I thought that it was a waste of money. I'm like, why would I ever do that? What, blah, 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 blah. I talked to you. I felt like I connected with you. I'm like, okay, I could trust her a little bit. And what you did versus what I did with my resume are two different scopes. So you convert, it was really it was money well spent.
Awesome. That's I'm glad. I'm glad that you feel that way, especially like being a skeptic at first. And then oh yeah, totally worth it.
Yeah, I was like, that's not worth it. I could do it all because you see AI out there now, and you're like, everybody on TikTok is telling you can do it yourself. I'm like, I don't know about that, but yeah, no, it was definitely money well spent.
So what would you say to someone who was hesitant to work with me?
Try it out. I would tell them, look at the results I got. And I don't want to discourage people, but like where I am in my career is a very niche. There aren't very many roles for people in what I'm already making. Like it would always be a step back, right? So I have very few jobs I can apply for, and still get the kind of money and satisfaction out of it. So and to go from like a 20% response rate, maybe then I'm probably as high there, to getting all interviews for all 3 that I applied for. It was totally worth it. It was worth the aggravation. It was worth me second guessing. Ooh, did I say that right? Can I see more articulate here and there? It's worth the money. It's well worth the money.